Welcome to the ABCs of Preschool, the show that covers all things from parenting to childcare. And we're going to get real about how not just to survive, but thrive in the early years. I'm your host, Miss Amber. I'm a mom of 5 and early childhood expert with over 25 years in the industry. Whether you're a parent, an educator, or just curious about early childhood education, this podcast is for you. Each week, we're going to dive into what life looks like raising little ones, with special guests, industry experts, and personal stories that will leave you inspired and empowered. Get ready to explore, imagine, and discover the beautifully messy that comes with these magical years. Buckle up, because thriving during the early years is a wild and rewarding ride. Welcome to the ABCs of Preschool podcast. I'm your host, Miss Amber, and I'm not sure if this topic is still relevant. I had my first back in 2000, the year 2000. He is almost 24, but I have a feeling it's still pretty damn relevant. And I know as a new mom, I struggled with this issue and I felt it very strongly. And so today we're going to talk about working mom versus the stay-at-home mom. But really what I want to talk about, we need to stop the divide. Whether you've got a briefcase or a diaper bag, we are all just trying to survive the day. Isn't that for real? I mean, we're all just trying our best. We are trying to survive. We are trying to have our kids survive until they're 18. So to have an extra freaking burden on us, right? Of a pressure, whether you are in the corner of the working moms or the stay-at-home moms. I mean, come on now. There is already so much stress and responsibility and pressure on ourselves as women and running households, taking care of our children, to also throw a feeling of not enoughness in the mix sucks. And I do think there is an elephant in the room. There's an unspoken tension between working moms and stay-at-home moms. Whether we want to voice it or not, I think there is tension. And I remember I grew up as a child thinking I was going to be a stay-at-home mom. My own mom, stayed at home with us most of our childhood. I was in junior high when she got a job, very part-time job, but she was a stay-at-home mom. She cleaned the house. She did the laundry. She was at her field trips, whatever. She was a stay-at-home mom. And I always imagined myself as a stay-at-home mom. That's what I grew up thinking. I had this vision that, the Pinterest wasn't around at that time, so I couldn't have Pinterest to stress me out. But I thought I was going to be the stay-at-home mom who did all the laundry and ironed the laundry and just, had my little apron, and I would cook all these amazing dinners and snacks and healthy. And I made it 4 freaking months as a stay-at-home mom. That was it. So my whole vision, my whole expectations of myself, my personal vision and expectation that I had placed on myself and desires that I thought was my desire from very young was not working for me. And so all of a sudden I was a stay-at-home mom for 4 months, and then I got a part-time job, a job where I could bring my son with me. And I became a working mom. And that part-time job then eventually turned into my own business, and I turned into an entrepreneur, all things I never imagined for myself. But when I began that role, that dream that I thought I had of being a stay-at-home mom, I realized for me, for my soul, for my well-being, for me as a person, and for our bills and our finances as a family, I wanted to work. I needed to work. And so all of a sudden, I became a working mom, and it shocked me. And there was this elephant in the room. There was this unspoken, you're either a working mom or you're a stay-at-home mom. And which mom are you? Why does it matter? Because let me tell you, whether you're a working mom or a stay-at-home mom, no one has it easy. We are all just winging it, aren't we? We are all just trying to figure it out. But I remember raising my little kids. I didn't do a ton of play dates because I was teaching, I was working, I was running my own business. And I missed out on that. I tried very hard to go on all the field trips with my kids, but there were some times where I wouldn't be able to go on a field trip and I'd have this guilt. But we have so much other pressure. Why, as women, do we always want to compare and say, well, she's this or she's that, right? Why can't we embrace it? Embrace who we are, accept it, and love it. So there's stereotypes. I think they're outdated and freaking ridiculous because there's all these stereotypes. And I think we still carry them. I think it's a lot better even from almost 24 years ago. Hopefully it's better. My kids are adults now, but there's stereotypes. And the working mom is, always hustling, balancing the career and the kids like a superhero. I tried that. I worked really hard at balancing everything. I would try to be there for the field trips as many as I could. I would try to be there at the pickup time and like have my whole work schedule right around my kids. I was still cooking. I was the one that was still cooking the dinners. I was still cleaning the house. I was really trying to be a superhero all the time. But guess what? We are human. It was not easy. It was not easy. And stay at home moms. The myth that you are just lounging around all day is so freaking laughable because you're wrangling kids, you're doing laundry, and you're doing never ending snacks and never ending laundry too. Because I have a full house right now. I have three of my adult kids living with me, and I just went to the garage and there is a lineup of all their laundry. I don't do their laundry, they do their own, but I remember when they were little, the laundry was endless. And if you're a stay-at-home mom, you may be also helping with a family business or whatever it is, but it's hard work. And you know what? A stay-at-home moms, it's a lonely role as well. And I want to acknowledge that it is lonely at times too, because you're doing a lot of the same things every day. But if that is what's bringing you joy, honor it and celebrate it. And if it's working, we need to own it and honor and celebrate it because what works for you shouldn't be anybody else's business. I think there's a reality check that working moms and stay at home moms face, and we all face different challenges, but all of the challenges are hard because, again, like working moms, like there's something beautiful sometimes about having a social life outside of your home. And working moms, I honor and I see how hard it is to be at your house day in and day out. But hopefully you're getting out and having play dates and play groups. So you're meeting people too. But each roles come with guilt. Sometimes stay at home moms, you may feel guilty because you're not bringing in financially. And working moms, on the other hand, you maybe feel guilty because you are missing some things because you have to bring in the finances. So we have to pause and think how crazy that is because both moms are struggling and have things to deal with that is really difficult. We are both roles are sacrificing and their struggles. And so why are we judging? We have to stop judging. And I know for me, it was a huge transition for me to go back to work because it was not what I had envisioned for myself. But there was a point and moments where I had to come and acknowledge that what I thought was going to work for me ended up not. And you may be roles reversed. You may have just had a baby and it's time to go back to work, and you always envision yourself as working and raising your little one, and you go back to work and you can't do it anymore. And you're making that decision right now that for you and for your needs and for your soul and for how you want to show up in the world, you want to be a stay at home mom. I celebrate that. You should too. And it's okay for us to change our minds and switch it up. It's okay for us to go off script and off of the dreams and expectations we thought about ourselves because we never know until we become a mom. We never know truly what that path will be for ourselves. We can plan, we can plan, we can plan, but until you see your baby's face, until you kiss them for the first time, until that love starts pouring out on them, you do not know fully what your path will look like and what you need to be fulfilled. And it's okay to change your mind. Both of us, all of us have these challenges. And, working moms, you feel guilty about missing time with the kids. Stay at home moms feel guilty for not bringing in the income, and both face the pressure to be perfect. And the exhaustion level, let's talk about it. Already, as moms, and especially new moms, your tiredness, sorry, exhaustion is through the roof. I felt like a zombie like for 5 years. Now I was having kids back to back to back, and nursing and then diapers. I mean, I was having kids in my diapers for years. So I totally get that exhaustion. I thought it would never go away. I was like a walking zombie. And all of that is hard in itself. And then the mental struggles as well. I mean, both groups experience burnout, frustration, and the need for a break. Whether you are a full time stay at home mom or you are a full time working mom, both of you need breaks. And self-care, I think that is so lacking in motherhood is self-care. And I think women as nurturers, I've talked about it before, a lot of us as women and nurturers just give, 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 and we put ourselves last. But I really want to take a pause and a moment because the mental health, the exhaustion all get tangled into one. And if you're not taking those breaks, whether you're working or you're a stay at home mom, it can get so overwhelming that you're not being the best version of you. So I think it's really important if you're a stay at home mom. I think it's really important to have maybe one morning a week where grandma or someone else comes and watches the kids and you go out of the house and you have me time. If you're a working mom, maybe there's one night a week where you don't come home from work. You go and you have an hour just by yourself or 2 hours just for that break. Because if we are not filling our own cup, how can we be the best versions to our kids? And if we're not taking care of our mental and our spiritual and our emotional well being, illness can come through. Stress causes so many physical ailments for our body, too. I mean, I got cancer at 31 because I did not know how to handle my stress and I was not. There was self care. What the heck was that? No one talked about self care, especially all those years ago. What am I, 16 years ago? It really wasn't talked about a lot, but I think it is so vital for our well being. And here's a bold reality each mom, stay at home or working, we're all one meltdown away from hiding in the bathroom. There was so many times I had to take a moment and I had to go to the bathroom and I cried my eyes out and I thought, this is so hard. I hear mom 100 times a day and all of them need something different from me. That is so normal. And mamas take that moment in the bathroom and realize it is okay to cry your eyes out because it is the hardest job. That is why we need to lose this divide. Our jobs in motherhood is already hard, and to be labeled or to put into a box or to have people not talk to you because you're one or the other, or you have only this kind of friends, we need to accept everybody. And I think we're getting better. We need to get rid of this divide. And we need to acknowledge if it's not working for you, it's okay to change your mind and do the opposite. Really, it is okay. No one wins in this battle. Fighting over who's got it harder just to fight divides us when in reality we should be lifting each other up. As women, at least men sometimes, I feel like sometimes with men, they have an issue with you, they're going to say it to your face. I think more of us women need to lift each other up and not go behind each other's backs and talk, talk, talk. And although each of these sides, the working mom and the stay at home mom, have made different choices, we all have the same goal, right? We all want happy, healthy kids, and we're making the best choices we can with what we've got. Because some of you may have to work. You have no choice about it. You may have to work. And some of you may have to stay at home because you don't have a choice. Because maybe your partner works out of town. Your partner may work out of town 90% of the time, and it's not even affordable to go to work because you need to be there for all of it for your kids. So you have no choice. And I think we also have to acknowledge that there's circumstances out of our control that puts us into these roles and we have no choice about it. And so if you are in a role, whether you're working or you're staying at home, and you just have to do one or the other because you have no choice, I see you. And maybe to help you through that is just to acknowledge it and accept it and embrace it and celebrate it, because sometimes what brings us the worst, like we get angry, we get upset, is because we're trying to change things that we cannot control, but rather just accept the things that are out of our control brings us a little bit more happiness. So instead of throwing shade, let's throw support, whether it's a text of encouragement or a coffee, drop off. We need both. We need each other. We need the love and support from each of us, and we need to be celebrated together. So today I just wanted to celebrate both of you guys. You working moms, you stay at home moms, because all of it is difficult. And all of it comes with its own struggles and own problems and issues and hardships. And I want to encourage us to drop the divide, because you never know. Like I also said, there is sometimes things are out of our control and we have to work because there's no reason for it. Or we have to stay at home because there's nobody else to take care of your kids but you. And so in all of it, the goal is to celebrate you, working moms, stay at home moms, for being you and sharing this same common goal of raising happy, healthy kids. So much love to all of you. So much love. Wishing you the best this week. And thank you for joining me. Come visit me at the Loving Start Way. I'm on all the socials, YouTube, all of it. So visit me, and I just wish you guys a beautiful week.
Thanks for listening. I appreciate you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to hear this podcast. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss the next episode. For more information on how to work with me, Miss Sandberg, visit me at thelovingstartway.com or follow me on Insta at thelovingstartway.